Hello and welcome. I am Scarverlock, and this is City of Heroes, and we're playing Liberty Lass. Our I always want to start with willpower. Our energy melee willpower brute, who's level 18. We have earned 89,407 XP, 13,000 to go to get to a level 19. And our next two enhancement slots, we've now got nearly 900,000 influence thanks to selling some orange salvage in the previous episodes, and we've earned some day job XP, so I just want to point this out. So Marketeer gives us additional bonuses to earning salvage in missions as long as this is active. I don't know how long it'll last. We've got 19% of our 100 hours. I guess I was logged off 19 hours. And you can see that we've logged off. We've got some train station log offs because I often stop at the train station. We can also get day jobs at the hospital and the university. And we've got 33% of the 30 bars of patrol XP that they want you to earn in order to get the patrol badge. All right. So let's see. We want to go back to Olivia Chung. And Olivia, hopefully, fingers crossed, will maybe give us the Vahzilok. You can look this stuff up. I'm kind of too lazy to do that. If we don't get the Dr. Vahzilok mission, we don't get it. It's fine. But hopefully she will give us a story arc. And in this level range, guys, it's a little different. In every level range above 20, every contact has a story arc that they're going to give you. In the range below level 15, there really are only a couple of story arcs. There's the Shauna Stockwell one, which is below level 10. It's like level 6 to 10. There's the Bonefire arc, which is level like 10 to 15. And there's the Vahzilok arc and the Lost and Found arc. And I think there's a Clockwork arc from 15 to 20, but that's, I think, it. They've added a few. Lost and Found is actually a new one. Once you get to level 20, every contact has a story arc, but it's not necessarily true here. Now, Jake Montoya, Vitaly Chernenko gives story arcs, I think. Let's see what she's got. Here we go, the Vahzilok Plague. That's what we're looking for. City Council is trying to keep it quiet. Take a scanning device and use it on the Vahzilok. We need to defeat 15 Vahzilok. I think there actually are some in southern Steel Canyon, but everybody's going to be too low level for us, so what we're going to do is head to Kings Row and just do it real quick. We know where we can go in Kings Row, down, well, actually over by the Garment Works, which I haven't been to yet, so we may as well map that part out. Back in the old days when I had out-leveled a zone, I would then go over each and every millimeter of each pixel of the map to make sure that I had gone throughout the entire thing and make it nice and clean. It takes a really long time to do that, guys. I did that. I remember distinctly doing that with the original Liberty Lass when she was like 25th level and all the zones below that level. And I remember doing it with my martial arts super reflex Scrapper. I don't know that I've done it with anybody since. So there are some Vahziloks hovering around the edges of this place, like to the north side. There are a lot of skulls too, but I think over here, yeah. And we're just gonna pound them. They'll go down really fast. Right, and I don't really care. They can't do anything to me. They're like 6 levels below me. And this is a case where, since you're just trying to increase the count, right, we still have to just take 11 more of them. This is an example of a time when you might, if you find a mortificator, I don't know if we will, you would want to take out the cadavers and the embalmed abominations and stuff first, because then the mortificator could res them and it will count as another defeat. The other thing I want to point out is when you've got to have a count like this, in order to get it to come up on the compass, you do want to activate it. You want to select the task. Do we have any morts here? We do. Okay, so I'm going to purposely defeat these guys and see if they res them. Go for it. Right, I guess they're not going to. Well, I think this guy might not have been part of their spawn, and they only res their own spawns. They don't res other people. Well, they're not people, other cadavers. 4 to go. Yep, so this is a good spot to find Vahziloks. If you're looking for them to just sort of quickly defeat them. Oh, there's a whole bunch here. And we should finish it up right like this. Oh, this is a boss. No wonder. I was like, why is this guy taking so long to go down? It's a boss. And that's it. We've got our clue. And that is Vahzilok data. And we will call Olivia. And so again, we have 2 missions offered. Both of them are Vahzilok, right? And so if you're not careful, you can take this thinking you've got this is part of the story arc if it doesn't have the title. And so originally they didn't have the title on it and you didn't know. And I think one of the really good innovations that Homecoming has is the title is included in every single mission, so you know which one is your story arc mission. So we're going to eliminate the diseased Vahzilok and collect some blood samples from Steel Canyon. So we'll see if maybe in this session we can get close to 1 million influence. Oh, and you know what? There is an Explorer badge right down here. Somewhere around here. I think. Right in here. I thought there was one right there. Huh. Well, maybe not. I could have sworn there was one right there. Oh, got it. Wentworth history buff. So Wentworth, I guess, used to be here before it was moved to there. I feel like that was probably put in later and not right away. Because I think Wentworth came in sometime after they put the badges in, but I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. Off to Steel Canyon. And since there are 2 train stations, when there are 2 train stations in a zone, there's really no way to know. Whoops. There's really no way to know in which train station is going to get you closer. So it's just random. And we're getting a little bit of server lag. You see it like jerking. See if I can do the keybind for the net stat. I wasn't fast enough. Okay, let's see. Net graph, I usually use 0. And you can see the little green bar in the bottom underneath our primary attacks. That gives you a sense of what's going on with your connection to the server. Looked okay, so I don't know what happened there with the little sort of jerking that happened on the screen. Might have just been the train station. There's another shop right here. This is Subgenetics, I think. Yep, Subgenetics. That's mutation science. Well, it's mutation science and mutation magic. It's a mutation shop. But it's for dual origin. Alright, let's see if we can try to avoid getting into the sewage. Oh, green cons. Yeah, you guys are nothing. So one thing you gotta do is watch out. Like I said in the last episode, these spawns can be larger than normal. Sometimes 3 is not what you see, but rather 4 or 5. Maybe 4, including an embalmed and a reaper, so that'd be 5. When you're in the sewers like this, just keep an eye out. Oftentimes when you see 2 here, there will be a couple more just on the inside. And it's sometimes, you know, like you aggro all of them, and all of a sudden these guys come through the door that you didn't realize were there. Now, it doesn't happen so much when they're by themselves, but if there's a Reaper or a Mortificator with them, those guys are the leaders, and they will make the abominations and the cadavers a little smarter. There's the Reaper. So I'm thinking, just in terms of how I'm going to actually run this character, that it may be easier or smarter, actually, to lead with the AoE attack. And the reason is, this is just a Reaper, which is, of course, a minion. But if you're thinking of a spawn where you say got a lieutenant, why do I keep deselecting? Where you got, say, a lieutenant, and you have several minions, right? If you target the lieutenant and you start pounding him, the minions are hitting you. If you target the one minion, they're all hitting you. But if you target the lieutenant, you move in and you start with the AoE. Because there is a disorient component on this, right? There's a 30% chance for, it's not a high chance. And there's no way to enhance the probability of it. There's only a way to enhance the duration of it. I wish you could increase the probability or the mag. But there at least is a possibility, if you AoE them, that you can stun several of them at once, and that will prevent them from hitting you while you fight the lieutenant or the Reaper or whatever. Right, so if I come in here and I build up and I spin, at least one of them statistically should have been stunned. Now, were they? I don't know. But I couldn't see what this guy over here, whether he was stunned or not. He's just being stupid and ignoring me. But yeah, one of the things you can try to do is start with the AoE, because it has a mez component, and then that allows you to fight a group of enemies without taking too much incoming fire. I'm gonna just not bother with the hovering for now. See, it stunned the guy on the left, right? And these guys are brutal. Jeez. They just hit so much, even though they only have a 50% chance to hit. One thing I do want to mention, this is a damage over time called a DOT, or dot. Dots, when they keep hitting you, will interrupt rest, so you have to wait until the damage over time numbers stop floating above your head before you can try and do a rest. So guys, I hope you're enjoying watching this, but I also hope that as many as possible enjoy playing City of Heroes. It's a great game, and I encourage people to try it. It's a lot of fun. It is an old-fashioned, old-school game, but I'm an old-school kind of person, and a lot of the old-school stuff is actually pretty good. Darn it. Got him before he blew up. That's good. You know, that's a good question. I actually don't remember. I used to know this, but now I don't remember. If you get the XP for the embalmed cadavers and abominations when they blow themselves up, I think you might, if you actually damage them right before they blow up, but if you don't, I don't know if you do. Okay, there is a refrigerator over here, and there's a boss. We're going to work our way around to the boss, because there are other guys in here, and I don't want them to get involved in the fight. Plus, they're worth good XP, so let's go ahead and grab it. See, we just dizzied the middle one there, too. Right, so the idea is you try and hit them. Come on. You try and hit them so that they don't you know, and dizzy them so they don't fight, they don't like hit you back, right? And there's the surgeon. So it's probably not going to be possible to aggro this guy without aggroing the surgeon. Did we get any enhancements? Oh, we got an SO. Single origin fly enhancer. Alright. Buff ourselves up and head on in. Try to pour it on. The abomination is going to just try to blow itself up, so we'll just try to run away when he does that. Nope, she got me in a hold. No, it's not working. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, did I just aggro somebody else? I did, that was stupid. Alright, let's go ahead and... Uh-oh, did she hold me successfully? No. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, that Midnight Grasp or whatever it is brutal. And I stupidly aggroed the other guys. So yeah, this is immobilizing. Now, it's not actually immobilizing me, but it is definitely debuffing me in some way, I think. Okay, it went away, so I don't know what it was doing. And these guys are all yellows, so yeah. No wonder I had trouble with them. I better run. These damages over time, oh my gosh. They last so long, and way longer than the player version does. Well, I guess it would last that long if you enhance it. Are they still coming after me? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's stop and rest. Got another enhancement there. Alright, now we're going to go take them out. Man, just 3 yellows can really do a number on you. Some of that is just that my powers don't recharge fast enough to really have a completed attack chain, and by that I mean, so a closed attack chain is an attack chain where when you get done hitting all of your attacks, the first one is recharged and you can start up again, and you never have to wait for anything to recharge. It's very hard to have a closed attack chain before level 22 and before you get single origin enhancers. Alright. I'm sorry to say this, but you've been infected. Oh boy. We've been infected by the Vahzilok, so watch what happens. We don't have it yet, but when you accept this mission, you've been infected. And so now, we have minus regeneration, minus recovery, minus endurance. Maximum hit points have dropped. Maximum endurance has dropped. So we're going to need to carry a bunch of endurance pills, the blue pills now. So we're going to go to the professor, and we're also going to have to grab some inspirations. And I really do love how easy it is to just be three-dimensional in this game. They did a really nice job. I've mentioned this in like Quintessence Lass, I think, and Nightmare Lass. They did such a beautiful job of right from the beginning saying if we're going to have a superhero game and they're going to be flying, they have to be able to go fully in all 3 dimensions. And this is one of the very first, if not the first, MMO that ever did that. To this day, a lot of games don't. I mean, Star Wars The Old Republic came out like 7 years later, and that really is only 2.5 dimensional. It doesn't have fully 3-dimensional where you can like just do this, any part of the map you want. Alright, so we're going to want to buy inspirations, but let's talk to our buddy here first. In we go. You can see little bugs flying around me. It's turning me into a cadaver. So now we're going to have to play a mission against Patient Zero. Let's see if this one will sell me inspirations. Yeah. Alright, so we're definitely going to need probably 4 of these. We're going to need some Lux. We're going to need some heals. And I think I'm not going to go with the extra damage because we do have the build-up, and also we do enough damage to the Vahziloks with our Fury and with the fact that we're doing energy. If we were smashing, this would be a much harder mission, but I think that because we have the energy, we're probably okay. Almost died in that last mission, and we could possibly still die, but we're going to try, guys. We're going to try to get to level 20 without dying, and this is basically like almost a pseudo Iron Man run because I do have influence from selling salvage. I don't remember if in my old Iron Man rules I was allowed to do that or not. I should look that up. But we haven't actually spent any of the influence we got from that salvage. So as long as we don't do that through level 20, we're okay. Now I'm going to be a lot more cautious here, just because I know that I don't have the endurance to stand in with these guys. So we're going to have to do some pulling, especially this room, which usually has a lot of enemies in it. And we're just going to let them come to us. I hate doing that as a brute or a scrapper, but the reality is that I'm not going to like have the endurance to face these guys, or the hit points to face these guys in large groups at this level with the disease. You know, one thing I absolutely despise about the little civilians is they can actually push you out of the way or get in the way of you attacking bad guys, which is really annoying. We're going to have to rest a lot. In the old days, this was a much harder mission because you could only rest every 10 minutes or so. And so, yeah, if we rest here, we aren't going to be able to rest later on, you know. It would make it much harder to do this mission. And I might have to drop my toggles, too. There's another mortificator. Ouch. So again, trying to get the mortificator first, because the mortificator will res them if you defeat them. And then you just have to fight another guy. You can see my attack chain is not doing too well. Can we stun this guy? Yes, that's good. Ouch. Man, did they ever miss? Let's look at their hit rolls. Hits me. 55% chance to hit. Rolled a 16. Hits me. 55% chance. Rolled a 6. Hits me. 55% chance. Rolled a 47. He had a 55% chance to hit me 3 times in a row. So it really does almost feel like and he had 55 instead of 50 because he was a level above me, but it really does sometimes feel almost like the abominations are programmed to roll low. So even though they have a quote-unquote 55% chance to hit, they only roll like, instead of rolling a D100, they're rolling D85 or something. I don't know that it's doing that, but it certainly feels like it. Gosh, there's another mortificator. Hey, aggro. Come on over. This is killing my Fury, too. but there's just no way at +1 with these negative regeneration and negative endurance and all the rest. I mean, just a regular +1 would be a bit of a struggle against mortificators with the abominations to begin with. But then when they're, again at +1, but then when you have the Vahzilok wasting disease, it's just awful. Okay, we need some endurance. And let's see if we can get these guys. And missing is just brutal here because it just it burns the endurance. And then, you're just stuck. And I think we're also suffering from a negative recharge, aren't we? No, it's not slowing down the recharge. Okay, we've saved 1 scientist, 2 to go. This is just the entrance, guys. That's how long it took just to do the entrance. I think this is going to be the only mission that other mission that we do in this episode, because this is going to be a long one, because I can't go through it quickly. And you notice how in the other missions we were facing almost entirely abominations, but in this mission, which the devs knew would be harder because of the wasting disease, they give you more lieutenants to fight, more mortificators. So this is obviously like scaled to be a tough mission. Up to the next level. This is another usually tough room. Okay, there we have Reapers again, +1s. Man, look at this. Just for a regular +1 spawn, I just barely started fighting, and they've got me all the way down. Look at this. Do they ever miss? Finally. Goodness. Let's come down and take a look. 51. He missed with a 63. He rolled an 85 there. Rolled a 4, auto hit. Rolled a 55, which hits. Yeah, I wonder if you did the average rolls of these guys. I bet their average would be well below 50. More +1s. Let's try a pull. Look at that. Hit me again. Look at this. Gotta run. Up the elevator. Wow. That's just brutal. And this is all the wasting disease. Well, it's partly the wasting disease, but it's also partly... It's partly the wasting disease. It's partly that I can't carry and use the inspirations the way I normally do. I'm not even turning off my toggles, which is something that I've done in the past in this mission just to try and save endurance. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. And one of the issues with Energy Melee that I'm noticing is it does have some fairly long animations, and you can get locked in an animation, and once the animation starts, you're just sitting there getting pounded before you can react. Alright, let's see if we can take this guy out first. right? So by the time I get through an attack chain, I've already got my hit points down to half. Gonna have to rest again. If I didn't have the ability to rest this fast, I would have to keep pausing this video and say, oh, guys, I'll bring you back when my health is ticked up. Just brutal. I am not going to leave the mission to buy new inspirations. And he just wanders away. Look at all this. So, you know, a stalker could just kind of run through and would be fine. A couple of them coming now. They're all +1s, by the way. Oh. I gotta stop being visible to them, because they will send the AoE at you, and it will hit. I don't think it's missed yet. There's another one. Did it just hit me? It missed there, finally. And the biggest problem is my powers are not recharging fast enough. Gotta flee again. I don't think the Vahziloks will come up the elevator. I have seen others do it, where they come up the elevator and you're trying to rest or whatever, and they just get you. But yeah, this is pretty nasty. And has it been all but one of the spawns has been +1? It's sort of like, it really feels like this mission was designed to just screw with you, you know? You can't recover the way you normally do. Whatever your character build is has just been screwed by this. So the way you're used to playing isn't going to work. And now on top of that, we're going to give you a bunch of really close spawns that are going to aggro, you know, like sort of together. And we're going to make them all +1. Come on. And you guys are watching this 2-hit, right? I have 90% to hit, and I'm getting these missed chains. Not good. Alright. We've thinned the herd a little bit, it looks like. What I really need to do is find the scientists. So let's go around a little bit and see what we can get. This, I do want to mention City of Heroes maps. These types of maps. Who just spoke? Abominations. The abominations are talking. That's really creepy. No, I'm going to do this room last. Hopefully we won't have to do it. That's a room with a bunch of power generators that has an insane number of mobs in it. That's just the way that the map works. And yeah, I'm not doing that one. Where, like, usually you don't have to do that room unless there's a hostage or something in it. It's so creepy when these things talk. Anyway, what I was going to say about the maps is the indoor maps. The offices and the labs can have a maximum of 5 levels. So this is the second level. There could be up to 3 more after this. Probably not. It's unlikely. Alright, I'm going to flee. Because they never miss me. And I have no toxic resistance. Nobody does at this level. I think I might have 5%, I'm not sure, but I don't think I have much. Let's see, let's look. Oh crap, there's somebody right here. Stop resting. Where did he come from? Just, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Stop resting! Didn't I click it off? It's a good thing these guys are stupid, he would have killed me. Toxic. I do have 5%. Better than 0, but it's not much. You have to defeat Patient Zero and his minions and rescue the hostages. The question is whether there's another elevator. Or whether Patient Zero is around here. These guys are plus zeros. So this shouldn't be as bad. We don't need that. Alright, that takes them out. Sometimes there's a hostage in this room, but apparently not. Not necessarily for this mission, but just this room is one of the sort of standard lab rooms, and there's usually a hostage standing in one of the corners. Now here you gotta watch out, because there are guys above, and they could possibly aggro to you if you move down below. So we're gonna hit the Reaper, and we're gonna pull these guys out of that room. Man. Just fighting for your life in every spawn. So it looks like there's another spawn over here on this side. And I'm lucky I didn't aggro them because I didn't think to look around the corner for them. So I do want to show you this, guys, the way the camera works. You can stand in a corner like this and look around it. And they can't see you, right? But you can see them because of the way the camera works. We're going to need to pull these guys out again, because if we stand down here, the guys above could see us. And the way this mission is going, I definitely don't want extra aggro, what they call adds, additional aggro. Hope I can get through this mission pretty quickly, because I am going to have to stop in about 15 minutes. Got a clue. I have to tell you something. I'm glad you got here when you did. You missed Dr. Vahzilok himself. I think the last scientist gives us the cure for this plague. I'm pretty sure when this thing started, you had the plague for more than one mission. And I think people complained about it. And so they said, okay, we'll just have it be one mission. But I feel like I remember having it for a couple of missions and being really frustrated by it back when the game first launched. And there's another elevator. So I'm going to go ahead and use the elevator. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't check something. Hang on. Let me go back down. I will use the elevator first and then come back to this other room. So let's check this side, because sometimes there's a spawn on this side. But it doesn't look like it. There have been times, and I've got it on video, where I just ran up that ramp, went down an elevator, and completely spaced on the fact that there might be spawns on that other side, and I ran right past them. And you can even see it on the video. Okay, so this room... There's Patient Zero. Okay, we're going to need everything we've got for this guy. This is usually a room that doesn't have any additional exits. I'm trying to keep everything up as high as I can and just pound him. Got him. We're lucky he didn't have anything more powerful than a cadaver with him. And there's the other scientist. So we might not need to go downstairs. I'm going to go ahead and use my inspirations here because this should be the final room. And that's a nice mez there. That knocks down the Reaper. Oh, and I'm out of endurance. Okay. So now we should just have to sweep this room and we should be okay. I gotta watch that AoE. It does a lot of endurance. It costs a lot of endurance. I was trying to let him blow himself up. Take a little less endurance to do, but he didn't want to. And that's the mission, and we have leveled up. And that should take, yeah, the debuff is off of us. We no longer have the Vahzilok disease. When you free the last scientist, he kind of gives you the cure. And when the mission ends, the cure is applied. And there we go. It may be that I got the Vahzilok disease. I think one time I got the Vahzilok disease, and maybe the first time, and didn't realize it. And so we did my mission, and then we did other people's missions. And I didn't realize it. And so I was playing at a, you know, with a debilitating negative for a long time. Alright, new power level, and we are going to get enhancement slots. Let's finish stamina, and let's go ahead and add one to build up. And away we go. Alright guys, I think that is enough for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed. Let's go into City Hall. We'll get a little bit of day job credit for staying in City Hall. We're level 19. We've now basically tied Iron Phoenix for Iron Man mode, essentially. I didn't have to run out of there at all. And we now have 908,000 influence. We're getting close to 1 million. Until next time, folks, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes.